Hello, good. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lorenzo, and I'm selling manager and technical advisor at R+ Italian Saddlery. I'm really glad to be here today, and I thank you all, and I thanks Maria from Satula.com, who's our distributor here in Finland, and also helping us in Sweden, of course, representing us there. Today, I would like to spend a few words with you to give you the basic principles of saddle fitting. This is really important to give the best comfort and health to our horses. A good fitting saddle is really a very important tool to enjoy and give the possibility to the horse to give us his best when riding. The saddle is the link between the horse and the rider, and it's really important, it's fitting. Now in my hands, I have the tray, which is the structure inside the saddle. The tray is really what is making the saddle fitting or not fitting on the horse. So depending on the backline of the horse, of the body shape of the horse, we really have to try to find the tray matching as much as possible the backline of the horse. The tray I have in my hands is a fiber tray, and it has a straight line. I brought here a straight tray because the majority of modern horses are getting a straight backline, opposite to the old generation horses, or still many horses, that have a lower croup. Horses with a lower croup, like a thoroughbred type, with a lower croup, with a hollow croup, they need more a curvy tray, while flat back horses, they are better with a flat tray. Now, we will check this horse here. As you can see also, this horse, being a Finnish horse, if you can please stop 1 second, yeah. This horse has a flat back line, so it's really important to get a tray that is matching as much as possible the back line of the horse. Of course, on putting the saddle on a horse, we always have to make sure that the point of the trays are sitting behind the scapula. Okay, this is the scapula of the horse. At the end of the shoulder here, there is the scapula. So whenever we are putting the saddle on a horse, we really have to make sure the saddle is placed behind the shoulder, behind the scapula, so that the horse, if you can please walk, yeah, so that you see, we need to give freedom to the shoulder to rotate freely. If you can please stop, yeah, thank you. Another very important aspect is to get the saddle in balance. This is very important. This is the activity our fitter has to do to make the saddle with the tray size wide enough for the horse to give respect to the wither and to the trapezius muscle of the horses. This is why, for instance, we at R+ have developed this U-shaped tray that is giving a lot of space to the shoulders and to the trapezius. As you can see here, there is a lot of space for the shoulder to move and enough space for the trapezius muscle to expand. Because when the horse is working, is collected, the trapezius muscle expands a lot, and we have to make sure there is enough space in the gullet. So, in giving you advice on taking a saddle, independently from the saddle brand, is to make sure the tray of your saddle is adjustable, because horses are developing during their entire life, depending on the performance of the sport, depending on the feeding, the size of the horse is changing, like our body conformation is changing over life. So it's really important that your fitters are checking the saddle and the saddle is wide enough for your horse. I give you a couple of tips to understand if the saddle is fitting or not. What is really important is always to check that there is enough freedom here, so that the saddle is not tight here for the shoulders, and that there is enough space from the wither to the pommel. The ideal distance from the wither to the pommel, the clearance, should be around 3 fingers, ideally. This because we need to get enough space for the trapezius to move. If the saddle is too wide, the saddle will drop to the front. If the saddle is too tight, the saddle will be more in the back, and therefore generate a point of pressure here at the back. The good fitting saddle will be the saddle where we get three fingers of respect to the front and a good balance, with the rider sitting in the middle of the saddle, okay? So it's really important that independently from the brand, you get a saddle that is adjustable to the front, to the gullet, and also adjustable behind at the level of the panels. I will show you a couple of finished saddles for you to understand. Is it clear, Maria, so far? All good? So I will show you a jumping saddle first, and then a dressage saddle. Thank you. So, this is a jumping saddle, and as you can see here, this saddle is too tight at the moment for this horse. This is a medium size. This horse probably will need a wide, so minimum a couple of centimeters wider. And we can see that it's too tight because we have more than 5 fingers. We said 3 is the right. And also, if we see the balance, the saddle is sitting too much behind. This would be the right balance for this saddle. To achieve this balance, of course, we need to make the front wider. Panels-wise, since the horse has a very straight back, we don't need to make a plus behind, but simply widen the front, okay? But what is good is that also this U-shape tray gives a lot of space for the trapezius to move. What is important is always checking also the length of the saddle. Sometimes saddles are too long. Also, this horse is nice and compact, so it's always important to get saddles that are ending at the level of the T16, T18 vertebra, okay? This is the last rib. If we come up, we see that the T18 vertebra is here. So, you know, for this horse, we could not go with a longer saddle, otherwise we will go over the last rib, yeah? I will show you also a dressage saddle. Thank you, Maria. Yep. This is a dressage saddle. Again, the tray is the same tray I showed you earlier. The tray is matching the back line of the horse because you can see it's sitting nicely all over the surface. But again, this saddle at the moment is too tight for this horse. We get now 5 fingers distance from the wither to the pommel. So this size again, this saddle should be 2 sizes wider. But in terms of length and clearance, it's okay. On this saddle, you can see the anatomical panels we have made that are cut back behind to give more freedom to the rotation of the shoulder. So our saddles, for instance, have different panels configurations, different panels options. You can get the short panels cut back for horses with big shoulders, or you can get the long classical panels when you get a thinner horse to the front. So it's really important by choosing a saddle not only to find a saddle that is comfortable for the rider, which is very important, of course, and that is putting the rider in the right position, in the middle of the saddle. In this way, we get the weight nicely distributed front and back. Okay, we like the saddle putting the rider in a vertical position. So a well-fitted saddle is a saddle that is putting the rider in the middle in order for the rider to get the right balance and not to be seated too much to the back or too much to the front. So a good fitted saddle is good both for the horse that has to move nicely, freely, without having point of pressure, but also for the rider to be sitting nice and vertical in the middle of the saddle. This is basic principles that are important for both amateur riders and professionals. This is the fact of having an adjustable saddle is what has made important top riders in the sport to choose our brand, because the saddles are adjustable. For instance, Emma Canerva, who's an important dressage Finnish rider, she's riding with our saddles in Germany, and she has chosen our brand because the saddles are adjustable and we can give her a good saddle fitting service. Here in Finland, Satula.com, with Maria and her team, with all the fitters, can really give you advice and help in finding the right fitting saddle for your horse. They are selling different brands. There is no perfect saddle or perfect brand. For each horse and each rider, we really have to find the best solution. So I invite you always to talk to your fitters, to talk to expert people that can give you advice, because a good fitting saddle is a big investment for the well-being of your horse and for you as a rider to ride and enjoy your activity every day with your horse. If you got any questions, I'm here for you. Otherwise, this is just a few tips explaining you what the saddle fitting is. Last important aspect I want to tell you, whenever you do a saddle fitting section, don't do only the static evaluation of the horse. Always ride the horse with your fitter seeing you riding. Many horses have a statical position when they are stopped, but as soon as they start walking, maybe they come up a lot with the croup. So to really determine if the saddle is fitting nicely, you have to do both the static and dynamic evaluations. That's very important. Thank you. And thanks, Maria and Satula. Thank you. And thank you all.